Good morning, mate. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good.
It's good to see you with your clothes on now, and this isn't a good way to start a podcast. But I can't believe you didn't remember. I texted you yesterday, and you were like, "Oh, you, me, yeah." I'll be 5. Fair play. You were 5 minutes. You were quick. Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All good. Thanks for coming in. So the What Really Matters podcast, as I explained before, is just to talk about things that really matter to you. But the first thing we're going to talk about is, where did I meet you? Because it was very recently I met you. Previously, it's been young people that I've worked with over a period of time. And now we're starting to engage with different people, might be friends of people or people we don't know. So how did I meet you?
In college.
Do you want to explain a little bit about what that situation was from your point of view?
So basically, you come in for around like an hour or two to show us some like skills and stuff like that. That's all I can remember really. And half of us didn't really want to do it because like we were standing on chairs and that. And then
Trust games.
yeah, trust games. And obviously, I think Brandon done the last bit with the music bit, and that's when we started talking really at the end about men and stuff like that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's interesting though because like we did that group. So they're a group of young people doing a year-long course with us, and really the course is just supporting them to find out what their passion is, and then supporting them to make it happen. So some of them want to do face-to-face things. So it might be youth work, it might be in education or something like that. And they were saying about things that help their well-being and made them feel better when they were growing up, and they just wanted to share a bit of that. Now, you recognise Brandon, so you'll know what the crack is. Like, do you know what I mean? Similar kind of kiddie. When they walked in and they were like, construction group, like straight away, like the stereotype of that, which it shouldn't be. I told you I'd done a carpentry apprenticeship, all the rest of it, but you know what the score is. They're like, what? And I was watching going out for a toilet. He goes, I'm going to know loads of people. I'm going to know loads of people. Probably thinking that no one's going to engage in it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I reckon by the end of that, you all did in a different way.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like not in the same kind of way and not with the same activities, but you definitely you stood out anyway. For me, you stood out because there was a moment when you opened up a little bit. I think when everyone was sat. So it was the thing with Brandon was saying about the challenges that people face growing up. So to write a line about the challenges you faced growing up and a line about something that supported you or might have supported you when you think back. And I remember just walking around. So it was all young people that are leading this thing, but I remember walking around trying to help them to like facilitate this group. And there was a lot of F this, I ain't doing that, blah, blah. And, you know, whatever, like, to be honest, it's my job. So I'm not worried. I'm like challenging, no problem, whatever, why not, all this kind of stuff. And people were starting to open up and write stuff down, but no one wanted to talk, did they?
No.
And then boom, Riley comes out of nowhere. And what you said was really powerful. And I mean, I don't know if you can remember what you said. And I'm putting you on the spot a little bit, because I have literally just woke you up and you're in your cat's about 20 minutes ago. So I was like, sorry, mate. But can you remember roughly what you said?
Yeah.
Go on then, let them know.
So basically, it was about men not opening up and speaking about their feelings, and that men gets a little bit harder than women. We both do, so it's equal rights. It's not just men this and men that. It's both ways, but it's easy for a woman to go to their mates and cry to them, as where men can't grow a pair of balls. You're a man. You can't really speak about your feelings, and that's why men die and kill themselves, because no one listens. And people need to start listening, because it's harsh reality. And yeah,
mate, seriously, when you said that, and it is, that's the sad thing about all of this is, I mean, I think I said it at the time when you said it, I was like, yeah, wow, And it means something hearing someone that has grown up with a lot of those other kiddies in that room that weren't saying anything.
Yeah.
And it's the truth, isn't it? You know, like I was saying, like the biggest killer, and the stats might be different now, I don't know, it changes, but it was like the biggest killer under 50 in men is suicide.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Ain't bloody like different illnesses. It's brutal, isn't it? And a lot of it does come from, like you say, maybe not feeling like you can open up.
No.
Why do you think that is? Like, is it a stereotype, or is it how you brought up, or what do you think the reason is why blokes don't necessarily open up and talk about their feelings? We're going right into this, by the way. Sorry, this goes out the window again.
Because obviously I was brought up to like men don't cry. Like men do cry, but I didn't cry. Especially when I started getting older, like in my 13s, all the way up now, because I'm 17 now. I don't really cry a lot, so I keep in my emotions a lot, and that's not good. You need to speak your emotions, and I think that's why a lot of men struggle with speaking to people.
What, because when they've been brought up or they've grown up,
Yeah.
What, you didn't see people around you that were blokes showing their emotions,
Yeah.
talking, crying. Do you even think that people are looked down on that maybe did? I mean, I don't know if you ever did see people being like, you know, blokes being open about their feelings.
I've only seen my dad cry once in my whole lifetime, and that was when I'd done something stupid and he just cried. My dad didn't really cry when I grew up. If he did, it would be away from us kids because he brought positivity in the house. I saw my mum cry a lot. But my dad was either at work trying to put food on a plate for us or trying to save. But once he did have free time, he would be fishing. So I didn't really see my dad a lot. And he'll come back in the night time and I'll be at bed, me and my sister. So I didn't really see my dad cry a lot. So I was like, why should I cry? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I do. I mean, I didn't have a dad around, so I didn't have anyone to look up. But I mean, I completely get what you're saying. Do you think then, because we'll talk about it in a minute, like the next question, and it leads on to all this like kind of stuff, but do you think not seeing your dad around when you were younger, do you think that affected how you were? So like, I mean, the next question is like, what was it like growing up in your community, like challenges and the positives that you might have felt? But do you think that Dad's not been around where he's working, getting food on the table, do you know what I mean, then probably like out fishing or whatever, and that kind of thing, if you didn't see him much, do you think, you've spoken about your dad quite a few times, I've met you only briefly, so he's obviously someone that is really, you know, I don't want to put words into your mouth, but he's someone you look up to, I guess.
Yeah.
What impact did that have on you, do you think, then, if you weren't seeing him much when you were younger?
Started taking advantage of my mum. I started stealing a lot, like loads of things.
Yeah.
And when my dad obviously left, I used to get like really bad when I was in like secondary school, like really bad. So yeah, I think it did have a big impact. I didn't see my dad a lot.
So your mum and dad split up today when you were what, roughly?
I think I was about 10 or 9, something like that, yeah.
Yeah. And you feel like that. I mean, I don't know about you, and it ain't this isn't about me anyway, but I just always, when I hear these things, it just makes me reflect on stuff as well. I don't know that many people growing up that mum and dads want divorced. And I don't know if that goes a cycle, and like, do you know what I mean? Then the next generation, say like me, for example, I'm probably less likely to get divorced because I know like the impact and all the rest of it, or it just continues to happen. What was the deal with most of your mates? Were people was their mum and dad around, or was it a general thing that most people split up? Or
yeah, in my generation, most parents split up. Yeah.
Do you feel like the impact on most of your mates that you hang around with was a similar kind of vibe to what you're on about with you?
Yeah, because some of my mates that don't have dads, if they did have dads, they would be a completely different person.
Why do you say that?
Because there's a dad, when there's a dad figure, it's like Because obviously you got a house and your dad is always the boss of the house, so you always look up to your dad like a god, basically. You don't disrespect your mum, you don't speak to your mum like that. You know what I'm saying? But if your dad ain't there, you get away with a lot of things.
So do you think it's that role model? And I guess, like, I suppose there's so much in this, isn't it? And how can we bloody tell, like, really what it is? But there's a masculine kind of physical kind of thing, in it. Don't take the PIS. Da, 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 da. And I suppose if you brought up with that at a younger age, and that, not every dad's like that, nor should they be. Do you know what I mean? But like, I get what you're saying. So what was the impact then more than on your mum? Then do you think that how many kids was she bringing up? Was it you and any brothers?
Just me and my sister.
Yeah,
just two of us.
But then I'm guessing she's probably having to look after the house and all the rest of it, get you to school, da da da, all that. Whatever.
When I was in primary school, she would look after the house or go to work, and my sister would take me to school and that. And then when I started in year 6, obviously, I started walking from and to school by myself. So yeah.
But it sounds like you felt like, and I don't want to put words into your mouth, but it sounds like you felt like if you had a dad telling you right from wrong, you probably would have been less likely to do so much of the wrong. And I'm making assumptions here. So what was it like in school, growing up in your community? Because I'm making an assumption there was loads of wrong, and it might not have been.
So growing up, so obviously I lived in the West for all my life.
I didn't realise that. Okay.
So I used to go to primary school, and then
that's where I might recognise you from.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. What school? What school? The plot thickens.
Knoll Park Primary School.
I might. Did you ever go to like Springfield allotments and do some kind of?
No.
No. Okay, so I recognise your face.
So I lived with my dad for a year. I moved up Park, lived with my dad. I used to go to school out there. It was horrible. Like when I was growing up.
Moving there from Knoll was the horrible thing? Or just generally, what was the horrible bit?
I think it was both, because of the people, the community, and obviously school. And people didn't know I had ADHD, so there was no help. It was just do this and do that. And if you didn't do that, it would be exclusion or detention. So there were some teachers that did listen, and then there's some that just takes it in one area, comes out the other. So I didn't really get a lot of help when I was growing up. I did from my dad a lot, because my dad was there trying to support me and give me help. Everyone was, especially my auntie, my uncle, my dad, my other uncle. So yeah.
Well, so at what point did you ever think, oh, hang on a minute, I'm acting and reacting a bit different to other people? Did you ever think that, or how did you find out you had ADHD? What was the situation that happened?
Oh, I knew I was different to other people.
Yeah.
Because
how did you know that?
Just the way I acted. There could be a couple of us just sat there chilling, and I'll just say something stupid. I thought it was funny, and I thought they would be laughing with me, but it would be laughing at me. So I was the mug in a sense, you know what I'm saying? And it just happened for years and years. I just let people take advantage of me. So yeah.
And was it the school that got you tested, or how did that?
Nah.
How did that all kind of?
My dad tried for many, many years to help me. Since I was little, he said, "Kate, there's something not right with them." Like,
can I just say though, don't think about it as not right with you, right? I said to you, I'm on your spectrum, brother, right? And it is a superpower when it is 100%. When you are directed at something that you're passionate about, you'll smash it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think everyone's like that to some extent, but don't think it is. So everyone's got a thing. We label everything that everyone's got. Do you know what I mean? Everyone will have something. It's just you need to find the environment where you're going to thrive.
Yeah.
And that probably ain't school.
Nah.
So balls to school. Do you know what I mean? And find the thing later in life that you will thrive in. I'll shut up now because I get on my soapbox. But seriously, I'm definitely a massive believer in that. And I've seen so many people do so well once they find their passion as well.
Yeah.
And And ADHD or ADD or whatever is something that I think really supports people to have that drive.
Yeah.
So, sorry. For going on one. So, okay, so you found out, did your dad manage to get you tested then? Is that what happened? Yeah. And then what happened then at that point? So, running up to then, what was the things? Was it behaviour? Like, you were saying, like, things you're saying, like, silly comments and stuff like that with mates. Well, let's be honest.
So
we all do that.
when I found
especially
out,
Dougie.
so when I found out I had ADHD, my dad tried for years to help him, and no one helped him. So when he got it, he was like, I won't go to sleep at night time. Okay. So when I had to get up for school, so say 11:30, we put our phones down and get some sleep, I'll still be up jumping off the walls and causing arguments just to wake up. Not sleeping, not eating. And then obviously the doctors put me on medication, and it was to calm me from when I wake up till I go to bed. So when I was going to school, I wasn't causing them arguments, or I wasn't being out of place like a dog. So you take these tablets and you listen, and then you come home and you go to sleep.
Do you think that helped you?
It did. It does. It does now.
Yeah.
It does now a lot, because if I don't take them, I'm like that all the time. I can't sit still. Always fiddling, moving, just speaking about random stuff, basically. So yeah, it does help a lot.
Okay. I mean, and that's the thing, I guess. You're the only person that can say honestly whether you think that it helps. And many other people like find different things, don't they? Like different things and physical things to kind of, I don't know, like direct their focus on and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But fair enough. Okay, so those things that were going on, the challenges in school, you touched on a couple in the car. Because I think there's a lot of people, right? You know, who knows how many people will listen to this? Could be 101. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
No. But I think we can safely say a lot of people from similar communities where you've been brought up, grew up, will find themselves getting into a bit of trouble in school. Do you know what I mean? And do you want to explain a little bit about the kind of things you were doing growing up that made you kind of, I don't know, it sounds like you just didn't get on that well at school. What was your kind of your journey through it?
It was horrible. Like, so when I was in year 6, it was okay. And year 7, I started getting a bit naughty, like one-off naughty. And then it started getting really, really bad in year 9, year 10, and year 11.
Why that age range, do you think?
I'd just hang around with the wrong people and just being myself. Like, I wanted to be the one that was like noticed. I was that person in the classroom, because obviously my ADHD, I wanted to be the one focused on me, look at me. And I thought it was a good thing. But then I realised when I grew up, it was not a good thing.
Do you think that you, by acting up, being the one that's more disruptive, all the rest of it, do you think like that was a bit of a badge of honour? Do you think you were looked at in a cool way? Do you know what I mean? Like, I say cool, but you know what I mean? Like, when you reflect on it, or is it because it was a way of, don't know, getting friends?
Well, because I struggled. So say if I struggled with a work I didn't know, I would ask for help and I didn't get my help. So I would play up, and then I would get the help after. So I had to play up in order to get help. And I didn't get help for a lot of years.
So, I mean, there's various different people that we've spoken to on this podcast. And unless, I'll be honest, like a lot of people like have got various different, you know, whatever, learning challenges. Like, do you think that there was anything more that the school could have done? Or do you think that, like, the challenges you were facing, maybe it would have been better that you were in an alternative education space or place?
They could have 100% done more than they did with support, because...
Well, the trouble is, you need to, in that situation, you need to be identified as having this, that, and the other, so then they can have a statement, get the money, to then pay someone to be a teaching assistant to support you. It's just, there's a lot of layers to it, which... Like, if they didn't know, or they weren't checking, or whatever the reasons were, then they wouldn't have the money then pay someone to give you that additional support. That's the trouble.
Yeah, in year 10 and 11, they knew about it, but they're not quite sure about it. My dad knew. He's got ADHD, he needs the help. And I was getting help at the time, and it didn't help me. And, yeah.
Do you feel like they give up on you?
Yeah. There's just two teachers, Mr. Young and Miss Harris. I still remember
naming and shaming.
Yeah, me and Miss Harris didn't really get along a lot. Like, we used to argue like brother and sister, like, a lot. And like, if I was in a group, I would always get picked out for like having stuff, or like, you're naughty and that stuff, that in that kind of sense, you know what I'm saying? So like, I would always be picked out of the group and put into isolation or somewhat. So
do you think that you had a name for, and maybe you were, I don't know, like the ringleader of all this stuff?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. And do you think that you probably were the ringleader?
Yeah. I was just the one that was always naughty, basically. Like, always doing stupid things, and I just had my name for myself from the teachers.
So what is it then? What is it that's kind of changed now, do you think, that's made you think differently about how you act and react?
College. And
City of Bristol College, South Bristol Skills College, give them a big up, because that is a big up. Do you know what I mean? If that has impacted on how you're acting and reacting, then like, fair play. I think the colleges in Bristol and the schools get a lot of flack.
Yeah, well,
like, let's be positive about some of those
people are
things.
different in a sense, because
what is it about college that was different, that supported your change of?
Because in school I wasn't free. Like, I like to be free, and in college it was just like, I ain't got a teacher on my shoulders like, do this or do that. You're treated grown up, and it gave me more of a sense like, right, now you need to start acting like a real man. You need to like get your act together in a sense, and it's a nice environment. Do you know what I'm saying? You can wear normal clothes. There's no dress code. You just give a bit of respect. You get respect back. You go to your lessons. You get the qualifications you need. Basically, it's more relaxed than school, in a sense. I didn't learn nothing in school.
Well, I think that comes back to that thing I was saying before. You found the environment that you're happier in.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And so what is it you're doing in college? Just so like people know.
Multi-construction.
Okay, and have you got a kind of plan on where you want to go with that?
Yeah.
What is it you want to specialise in?
Bricklaying. I want to get up to level 1 bricklaying next year.
Okay. How long's the course then for?
I've been doing the course for about a year now.
Yeah, and so you do like lots of different trades.
I finished the course now, so the whole year I've just got to complete my maths and English basically, and just get my attendance up.
Do they support with any of that, like additional stuff with maths and English? I'm not saying you need it, but
100%.
They do.
Yeah, they're really good at it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. Do you feel like you got people there that you really get? Because I feel like this is probably the key to the kingdom with a lot of the stuff you were saying to me about, the stuff that like work that you do, is trust. Like, do you trust the staff there that support you?
I don't really trust a lot of people.
Do you have a relationship with them that you think is like a respectful one then?
In a sense, I couldn't say deep stuff to them though. I couldn't tell them my life story and all that. I can speak to them and respect them.
You're telling me your life story now. I've already met you once.
Yeah, because we spoke about a lot of things that I trust, as I wouldn't sat here with a random person and speak about stuff.
Yeah. I think, mate, there's a lot to be said about a connection with people.
Yeah.
And you can tell, can't you? You can just look into someone's eyes and you can tell if someone's full of shit. You can. I think you can. You work it out pretty quickly. Well, look, it sounds like you've gone from being in a situation that has been challenging, growing up, at home and what have you, and through school and the challenges with the ADHD, finding something that you're more interested in now that you want to do for a job feels like it's the kind of direction that you can focus on.
Yeah.
Which is bang on. Because if you didn't have that, what would you be doing? I don't know. I don't even know if that's a question that we necessarily... Well, actually, go on quickly. If you weren't doing that, what do you think you would be doing? Be honest.
If I wasn't doing college?
Yeah.
Probably out on the streets doing something I shouldn't be doing. Honestly, I would be selling drugs.
Yeah.
I think anyone would be. If you're not in that right environment and you're brought up in Hartcliffe or Northwest and you're not getting the right education or you've got the right supporters, you're going to be on the streets selling drugs or stabbing people. Honestly, yeah. I do believe in that, yeah.
Do you think... Because I think we... I said something in the car about this, and I can't remember what we were talking about, but I was just like... Do you feel like people get... Just say Northwest Hartcliffe, right? Do you think that most people get... They believe they're going to get the opportunities that they want out of life?
No.
Why do you think that is?
Because...
Sorry for a stitch-up question. Not easy, is it? It's not easy to answer that.
No. There's not a lot of people out there that are willing to put themselves into a community and help them.
Oh, hello. Hello.
That's my girlfriend's mark.
That's all right.
Let's turn that off.
You could have answered it and gone, all right. Can you answer this?
Oh, no.
This one's a bit tricky.
Get on the podcast.
Why not?
Oh, no. Yeah, so basically, obviously in Hartcliffe and Northwest, there's not really many people that's willing to put herself into a community.
She really wants to speak to you.
That's my girlfriend now.
Was it?
Yeah.
Can you put it on mute? Or are you talking to her?
Love, I'll be back in a minute, okay?
I love the way you say love. See? Good kid. Go on.
My bad, sorry.
That's right.
Yeah, there's not a lot of people out there to support young children and direct them in the right path, in a sense.
And do you think then that comes from... I mean, it can come from school, can it? There are great people, teachers that work in schools that support that.
Yeah.
Like, we all know that. But obviously you need to have that experience with them to believe in it. Do you think... Because you mentioned something earlier on about going to other like projects and stuff out in the community. Do you think there's, that kind of thing, youth work, that kind of thing does make a difference with people's lives to kind of help direct them into other opportunities? Or not really?
Yeah, I do think so sometimes, yeah.
Sometimes.
It's got to be the right person because some people are different to others.
Yeah.
So...
No, you're right. You're right.
Yeah,
you're right. It's down to the individual, isn't it? It's down to the connection.
Basically, yeah. So,
yeah,
different people do different things different ways.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Yeah.
No, but you're onto
Honestly,
something. I mean, it ain't a loaded question. I say that because I absolutely guarantee that for example, me, everyone's different as well. Like as a youth worker, how I'd support you would be different to how I support someone else. But the beauty is, I could be different about that because I don't have to run through like a school curriculum and be specific to having to teach this, having to teach that, having to tick this off, having to do that, when your needs might be different.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And that's why I love youth work, because it's based on your needs, not on a flipping bit of paper that tells you that this is what you have to be doing.
Yeah, 100%.
I think there's something in... I get why school's there and it's needed, but sometimes, it doesn't work for everyone.
No.
So don't give yourself a hard time. You're on the right track now anyway.
Yeah, 100%.
And that's all good. What kind of things do you do out in the community then? What stuff like club-wise or out with friends or when you were growing up? What kind of stuff were you doing?
So when I was growing up, obviously, I was at a boxing gym.
What gym was that?
Schemers Boxing Gym.
Wedmore Vale?
Wedmore Vale, big up.
Yeah.
Nah, Schemer, he helped me through a lot. I give so much respect to that man. He's helped a lot of people and he helps the community. He's like a youth worker, but better. 100%.
Well, hang on a minute.
No.
Chill out.
Nah.
Fair play, Schemer. That is a big up.
He takes a lot of people out the streets, knife crime, drugs, getting bullied. Doesn't matter what culture you are, where you come from, who you are, what needs you got, you're going to get the help you need. And a big up to Schemers because he does do that.
I mean, he's local, isn't he? He's
Yeah.
authentic. He's real. It cuts through all the BS, and there's sport behind it, but
Yeah.
actually, it's just like, sort your stuff out. So I was chatting to you in the car, and randomly, like, there's another lad that is coming in later on that was doing the same course that you were doing. I started chatting to you for a different reason. And I didn't have any idea that you were mates with him, knew him, or anything like that. I said to him, oh yeah, old so-and-so's coming in. Angus is coming in later on.
Yeah.
He's going to be doing a podcast as well. And you went, oh yeah, I know him. I went, how do you know? Are you mates with him? So, tell us the story. Because I'm going to ask him the same question. How do you know Angus?
So basically, I was obviously naughty in school, so I had a transfer to Amsterdam. For a month, only a month. There I got in with the wrong group, and there was a kid that hated me. He said something, I was like, oh, shut up. And then it got worse. So, and he was there whilst this kid was giving it lip. And my uncle was like, about me getting bullied, so he was like, nah, I'll take you down to Schemers. I know who he is. He's a good man. Go down there. I went down there, and he was there. I was like, oh, no way.
Oh, what? Because you seen Angus? Because he
sight,
hung around with that group that
first sight I saw, I
him.
was like, I'm going to get beat up. And all. And then Schemer was like, I've heard a lot about you two. You're going to get in the ring now, and you're going to have it out right now.
He is old school.
Old school, yeah.
But there's a place for all different things.
Nah.
But yeah.
And then we got out of the ring, shook each other's hands, and become best friends since. We're like that. We're like brothers.
So, I mean, that's interesting. To people that have never been involved in boxing, don't enjoy necessarily boxing, never watched it, have whatever thoughts about it, could you explain, and I'm not saying you can, but could you explain, by you being put in a ring with someone who you basically knew was part of a crowd that were being out of order and bullying you and all the rest of it, to just be chucked in a ring and say, just crack on? How? I mean, I've got my view on it, but I don't want to, how do you think that has meant that suddenly you've been in there, you've been fighting or whatever, and then afterwards you come out and you're like, then there's some kind of, and I don't want to say the word that I'm thinking, because I know that gives you the answer that I'm thinking. What is it that suddenly helped your relationship with him?
Respect.
Well, that's what I was going to say, but I didn't want to say it. Nice one.
Yeah.
And literally that was it.
Yeah, literally, we just full scrapping, like smashed each other's heads in, fighting, like proper fighting in a ring, mind. We got out of the ring, shook each other's hand, give each other a hug. Respect was there, and I'm always by that. If that kid needs me, I'm there. And it's the same both ways. We've been all around the country together as well.
So that wasn't just like a one-off thing.
Nah.
So how long have you been training up there?
I was training for a year.
Okay.
I think it was about 8-9 months I started getting good. About in the 6-7 month I started getting good. And then we started fighting all across the country. Malmesbury, anywhere you can think of. London.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what difference do you think boxing made to your life then?
It was helping a lot because I was always doing the physical kind of stuff, and it wasn't.
Did that help with ADHD?
Yeah, because I wasn't doing the mental side of it. I was doing the physical side of it.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was helping a lot.
That's kind of what I was thinking when I was saying earlier about people doing practical stuff.
Yeah.
Like it does. And I can imagine, were you like hardcore on the training?
When I first started, I was so lazy. Like, I wouldn't do my push-ups. I would always cheat, and I was like scheming.
Cheating yourself?
Yeah, literally. You'd be like, oh, do 50 press-ups. Oh, I'd only do like 25. I can't lie, I did. When I was started, and then this geezer called Danny Milkins.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was like, if you want to be the best, you got to train like the best. And he said, you're only cheating yourself. You're not going to get better if you're going to cheat yourself. And I've listened from them. I just listened to him. So I started working out. And yeah.
It's the same with everything, though, isn't it? At the end of the day, if you just can't be asked to put the time and effort in, you ain't going to learn anything.
No.
Like, it literally is. It's muscle memory for all these different kind of things. The more you do it, the better you get.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Make mistakes, learn from them. Like, it's it. You know,
Yeah.
there's not that many people that just suddenly start something and are really good at it.
Yeah.
There are a few of those people out there, but they're annoying. So boxing was probably, was that your big thing, you think, like growing up as a
100%.
teenager?
Yeah.
Why aren't you doing it now? Sort it out, mate. Why not?
So basically, my mindset wasn't there.
Right.
It's not schemer's fault and all of that, because it's not.
Yeah.
I just wasn't getting the training I needed. I went to work one day and I come straight back so I woke up, got my boxing stuff, put in my work stuff, and I was like, right, so I'll go from work to the boxing gym. Bear in mind, no stopping. So I was going from work to the boxing gym for a run to go to bed. So I walked into the boxing gym. Me and Skimmer had a bit of argument. He was like, oh, where have you been? I was like, hang on a minute, I've been at work. And he's like, oh, get a fuck. Like, we had a big argument over it. We obviously sorted that out. And he's like, oh, sorry, mate, I didn't know you come back from work and all. And I went back a couple of times, bit of sparring, bit of bag work. I left again for a couple of months, went back again for about, I think it was 3 more fights I've done. And on my last fight, I was like, I'm done. My mindset wasn't there. I was like, if I lose this or I win this, I'm just going to end it. And I wasn't getting the training I needed, so I just walked away. But I would come back to it.
I was going to say, do you feel like you're missing it?
Yeah, because the boxing gym was the family. I miss it a lot.
Well, go back to it. And because you were saying, so you live in Southmead, don't you? So it's not like, and it sounds like there's potential you might be moving elsewhere as well.
Yeah.
But there's there's quite a lot of boxing gyms around, isn't there?
Yeah.
Obviously it depends where you move. Yeah, if you know it makes a difference,
It does.
you got to get back into it. Otherwise, you're cheating yourself, as you just said.
I miss it a lot. I can't lie.
No, it's good to know. And I'm a firm believer of the kind of things that boxing brings: discipline, respect, all the rest of it. But it's that you're all doing something together.
Yeah.
It's that togetherness, and not everyone has that togetherness. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and that is huge. Same with lots of other sports, but boxing's a bit different. 1-on-1 in a ring, that suddenly is a bit of a different situation, isn't it, than playing 11-a-side football against each other or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I heard your voice. This is the next question. I heard you say something at the college session, but just one of the questions we always ask is like, do you feel like you have your voice heard? And that could be at college or it could be in the community. Do you feel like, when you talk, people listen? Do you get to say about the things that matter to you?
Not really.
Is it something you even consider? Like, is it something that you even think about?
No.
I only say that because you were very quick with what you said about men needing to show more emotion and not be worried about it, and men needing to basically talk to people when there's things going on in their life. And you were really quick to say that, and I was just interesting. I don't know if it's how probably the questions worded and how I'm saying it, because you didn't hang around with saying that. So I'm just guessing that if there are other things that mean something to you, that you'd probably be quite vocal about it. You'd probably just say it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I would. If I was sat down like this speaking to someone, or someone was like, oh, do you want to have a chat? I would, but not if I was just on the street. It's not really, no.
Why do you think that? Is that how people look at you, or how you feel like you looked at?
Yeah. People look at you different.
I completely get that. I mean, I said something to you, I think, at that session, and I really mean this. And I didn't know you were into boxing at that point, and it's not that boxing's got anything to do with it, but there's a few different things. If you were into it, if there was a way that I could somehow support it, if you were into starting up some kind of space club, group, whatever you want to call it, or just something where a regular session where people, it's open to young people of whatever age, whatever boys or whatever, to talk about things that matter to them. Would you be up for it?
Yeah, 100%.
I only say that because someone's got to start these bloody things.
Yeah.
Right, you already know that there's a massive need. I mean, everyone, let's be honest, everyone, every boy of a certain age will probably realise, if they don't have people they can speak to and open up to, they'll realise that they don't talk about things
No.
that are to them, and it just takes someone to start it. Now, all right, I haven't got any bloody capacity to do anything, but I somehow try and think about it a bit more. But it's interesting you saying that, and fair play for even saying it. I wonder if there's something we could do around boxing, but as well around well-being.
Yeah.
Because there was a boxing club that was set up in Artcliffe, but it was just difficult because I said to you, didn't I? The young people that are running it,
Yeah.
we couldn't get insurance for them to keep running it on their own because they had to have certain level 1, level 2 qualifications, like boxing qualifications. Let me have a little think. I should be in touch, but I think that would make a huge difference because you know what it's like. Normal everyday people out on the streets to doing this, they'd be more likely. Like, to turn up to something. I'm not on about loads of like kiddies that hang around up flipping, I don't know, wherever, Mowcroft or Nuki Road. But there'd be like 1 or 2 like people that'd be hanging around wherever that actually would be like peeled away from their group of mates. It would make a difference to them.
Yeah.
But you've got to start it somewhere.
Yeah, 100%. Because people need to get their voices out.
Yeah, otherwise we know what happens.
No.
Right. Okay. That's an action straight away. I would say leave it to me. I ain't going to be leaving it to me, yeah, because I'm going to have a think about it and how we can make it happen. But I believe in people will come and it will make a difference, and especially if you're kind of involved in it as well. Not involved in it, leading it.
Yeah.
Okay. So the next thing. So if I was going to ask you a question about what really matters to you, now you might look at me and go, we ask everyone, and that's the whole reason for the podcast. It literally is to give young people a platform to talk about the things that matter to them. It is different for everyone. What are the things that matter to you and why?
I got quite a few things. I could say one specific person though.
No, say the things that matter to you, just say them.
My girlfriend, she's a big part of it.
Yeah?
Her mum.
Her mum?
Yeah.
Wow.
My dad, my mum, my stepmom and my stepdad, and my uncle, my aunties. That's it really.
Well, that's huge. That's family.
Yeah.
Do you think that has changed as you got older?
100%, yeah.
What has changed? Why family now? Because from the stuff we spoke about in the car and what you said earlier on, it sounded like family, like there was troubles because of your behaviour and ADHD and various things, stuff that you're doing in the community. What's changed that they are the things that really matter to you? And that's brilliant, by the way, that you've got that.
Because they was there for me. My dad was there for me for thick and thin. My mum was there for me thick and thin. Everyone was there for me and trying to support me, but I didn't see it back then. I was just thought you was just nagging on, like, I just thought you was just nagging on to me to just shut me up. But actually, in a sense, they was trying to help me and trying to guide me from going down the wrong path. And I was this close from going down the wrong path, and I'm so glad I didn't go down the wrong path.
Yeah, well, big up your family then.
Yeah.
And you know that a lot of people don't have that. Do you know what I mean? And even do you recognise what you've got, like, that's huge, isn't it?
Yeah.
Fair play. So the other thing then that we get people to say is, if you could ask for anything, and again, I'm not going to explain this too much because otherwise I end up directing people into saying what they might say. You could give an ask out to the world or to the community or to whoever or businesses or blah, blah, blah. What would be that one thing that you could ask for?
Two things.
Two things?
Two things.
Okay. Greedy, innit?
Greedy. Got to be greedy in life.
Yes, mate, you have. If you
Not
don't
too
ask,
greedy
you don't
though.
get.
Yeah, trust. First of all, the first thing is men speaking. You need to speak. It doesn't matter if you're a boy, a man, a girl, anyone. You need to release your feelings to anybody. And If you don't, then you start just holding it in and then building up and then taking it out on your family, and that's not good. You don't want to take it out on your family because they're there to help you. But everyone finds a different way to release their emotions. So people do need to start recognizing what's happening in the world, because it's not just fairy tales and butterflies and over the rainbow, do you know what I'm saying? And another thing is knife crime. There's a lot of knife crime happening, especially in Western Artcliffe and all over England and Bristol and London, everywhere. Don't pick up the knife. There's no point. Some people do it for different reasons. Some people pick it up for protection. Some people pick it up because they're scared. Some people pick it up because they ain't got no choice. Some people pick it up because they have a choice, and some people pick it up because they're forced to pick it up. Just don't pick it up and don't use it, because it's not worth being in a cell for 15 to 20 years for carrying a knife.
Do you think that a lot of people carry knives now because they think others have got them?
Yeah.
And it's that knock-on effect of thinking, hang on, I've got to carry something, because if someone jumps me, it's the fear.
Yeah, 100%.
Or do you think that it literally, people are using knives so more often now than maybe X amount of years ago?
It's like a war now. It's like...
Is it really that bad?
Yeah, it's really that. It honestly is that bad.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I hear about things happening all the time, but and it's definitely more than what I used to hear about. But
yeah,
how do you think then? How do you think that it could be supported to stop? Do you think it's kind of part of the thing that we spoke about before, about that maybe specifically targeting people?
Once it's started, I don't think it's ever going to stop, because it's never going to stop now. I think it will eventually in the future, once they're all grown up and that, but I don't think they can get help. I think they could, but they need the right person to help them and to guide them, honestly.
Do you think it's the kind of thing that maybe with people that have been through it themselves?
Yeah.
And do you think that, is it realistic to think that other young people that have been through it themselves? I mean, I'm looking at you, but I could be looking at anyone. Do you know what I mean? That you may be able to support someone else, paid to do it.
Yeah.
But be mature enough to be honest and about why they need to change, and not suddenly fall into that situation of having to act up because you're around, do you know what I mean, other kids that are
100%.
giving it big spuds. But do you think it'll make more of a difference for trying to get other young people involved in it?
Yeah, 100%, because if I'm speaking as a young person, I think they would listen to me then more to you.
Yeah. No, I
honestly, because...
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm bang into the youth-led stuff. It's got to make more of a difference. Someone's walked in the same shoes.
Yeah, because some people get brought up differently, and some people get brought up without a dad or without a mum, or their mum's died or their dad's died. And then that's when they hang around with the wrong people and they feel safe. And then them wrong people start making them people do the wrong thing. And then...
Grooming.
Yeah.
Them.
And then it gets worse and worse, and you carry a knife, and then drugs, and then you're shot for someone, and then prison, and then out, and then you're shot in drugs.
And then it's...
Cycle, and then homeless, and then addict, and then, don't get into that.
So it's getting there first, isn't it?
Yep.
Riley, it has been a joy talking to you. I am going to talk to you again, and I think there's something in a lot of this stuff, because I think you've got a lot to offer, whether it be the stuff you've been through, but how you just talk about the realities of life. Do you know what I mean? I think that, like you said, the impact of what you say and how you can connect with other people, other kids that have been through similar things to you is huge. Not everyone would want to kind of give themselves to be involved in that.
Yeah.
But I think you do. And I'd like to support you in some way to get into this, because I think you make a difference.